Thank you for joining us tonight at 10. I'm meteorologist Ren Claire with your forecast first. Very mild tonight. Our average lows are in the upper 40s. We're going to be close to 60 for lows with mostly clear skies. A little bit more of a breeze compared to last night, but not a breezy night. And tomorrow we're warmer than today by a couple degrees, back into the mid 80s with partly sunny skies. Our record high for tomorrow is 89. Looks like we're likely to stay shy of that, but worth mentioning that we're close to that record, which is long-standing, set back in 1897. Winds stay out of the southeast for us tomorrow, a little bit breezy at times. And then we're going to have a gradual cool down towards the end of the week with rain showers returning late Thursday, more so Thursday night into Friday. I'll take a closer look at that timeline in 15 minutes. Nightcast starts now.
Tonight on Nightcast, reforming and reimagining public safety.
A new cite and release policy goes into effect in Brooklyn Center.
We think that it's an important milestone.
5 months after a deadly traffic stop jolted the city into the national spotlight.
I think Brooklyn Center is going to set the tone for the rest of the state.
A civil rights attorney saying there's still more work to be done.
Issuing us a citation or arresting us to go to jail has never been the primary issue.
It's been called a crisis in policing.
I mean, we're losing cops daily.
In Minneapolis, police are at a crossroads. The largest department in the state keeps getting smaller.
This is a pandemic in the law enforcement community.
But 5 Investigates finds the reality of the crisis changes from one department to the next.
So far for Woodbury,
we've been doing quite well.
I think we're seeing a lot more applicants asking about not only why do you want me to work for you, but do I want to work for you?
Stop. Hey. Whoa, guys, come on.
A school board meeting gets physical.
Officers, please come to the room.
The district taking extra measures to keep the peace.
We wouldn't allow students to behave in our schools the way we are seeing some adults behave at school board meetings.
And a case of arson destroyed their church.
So it was very painful to see.
To simply look at it as brick and mortar is the wrong way to encapsulate it.
As investigators try to find who started it, the building's future is in question.
We are still in process of grieving, myself and parishioners.
Those stories and more on this Tuesday, September 28th, 2021. Good evening. I'm Kevin Dorn. This is Nightcast. Today, a metro area police department took the first step toward reform. The Brooklyn Center mayor calls this an important milestone, a step forward in reimagining public safety. After the death of Daunte Wright, Brooklyn Center started looking at everything from the use of deadly force to how police interact with people committing low-level crimes. Tonight, Jay Coles talked to a civil rights attorney who says the city is on the verge of making history if it follows through with its entire police reform agenda.
It was this traffic stop just 5 months ago when Daunte Wright was shot and killed in Brooklyn Center. Former Brooklyn Center officer Kimberly Potter has since been charged with first-degree and second-degree manslaughter.
This is right versus wrong.
In the days afterward, city leaders pledged major police reforms, and Tuesday,
So today we're taking another step forward.
they announced the first step toward that goal. Starting now, no more arrests, only citations for misdemeanor offenses.
The importance is the policy imposes uniform limits on discretionary arrests and requires the use of alternatives to avoid taking people into custody.
Brooklyn Center City Attorney Troy Gilchrist says if a person is questioned about a misdemeanor and it rises to a level of a threat to themselves or the public, the officer still has discretion.
This policy makes it abundantly clear that if the law requires arrest or booking, then that is still to occur.
Brooklyn Center Mayor Mike Elliott says this first initiative speaks to the wishes of Brooklyn Center residents.
We designed this policy, this resolution, with centering the voices of the community, because that is what we believe was needed to create this new vision.
The city is still considering much bigger changes, such as what circumstances justify the use of deadly force or the use of less lethal munitions, and the creation of a community response department for all incidents where someone experiences a medical, mental health, or disability-related need. Is this step by Brooklyn Center a good first step, and do you like it, and if so, why?
So this is a good step. It's a little step. It's important that at least the city recognizes that its citizens are at stress.
Civil rights attorney Kenneth Udoybach tells me there is still a long way to go to achieve even greater police reform, including, he says, how law enforcement interacts with racial minorities.
The issue is, what is the behavior of law enforcement when they encounter us, particularly when the call is about mental health issues, non-serious social calls.
Is the overall package of reform in Brooklyn Center on the right path?
Well, it is the right path in the sense that you don't want to be aggressive when you're encountering citizens.
If all of the Brooklyn Center PD reforms are in place by mid-next year, let's say that happens, do you think Brooklyn Center could become sort of a test case by other cities to see how it works?
There is no chance that all those reforms would be implemented. If they are, Brooklyn Center will be an outlier for the rest of the country. It will be a test case.
Again, this applies to misdemeanors, not felonies or gross misdemeanors. The ACLU of Minnesota says the lowering of the temperature during police interactions with citizens is a good start, but also just the beginning of a long road of work. I did reach out to the head of the Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association for comment, but I have not yet heard back from them, Kevin.
So, Jay, did Brooklyn Center leaders give you any kind of timeline for approving the other police reform initiatives?
You know, Kev, we did ask that question today, but the mayor and city attorney did not give a target date for the other proposals. But when they initially rolled them out earlier this year, they did say they hope to achieve those goals within about 18 months. So still some time to go.
Okay, Jay Coles, thank you very much.